Hello, welcome to Press TV's Top 5. Good to have you with us. Russia and China have once again vetoed a Western-backed resolution of the UN Security Council to refer Syria to the International Criminal Court.
Will those in favor of the draft resolution contained in document S/2014/348 please raise their hands? Those against? The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of permanent members of the Council.
This is the fourth time that Moscow and Beijing have used their veto powers to abort a resolution against Syria. The document, drafted by France, accuses both sides of the Syrian conflict of human rights violations and war crimes, as well as crimes against humanity. The resolution suggested that both the government of President Bashar al-Assad and the insurgents to be tried in the International War Tribunal. Let's bring in senior editor of Veterans Today, Gordon Duff, who joins us from Ohio to tell us what he thinks about this veto. Well, Gordon Duff, couldn't come at a worse time for the UN when you have the United States at odds with both Russia and China for a variety of reasons here. But what's interesting is why would the Council want to bring Syria, or refer Syria to the ICC and also the insurgents, but not the people who are behind the insurgents, countries that are known to have provided arms, etc., to these insurgents?
Well, this is an interesting political move on France's part, and it's fairly obvious, as almost always when France moves, there's someone's operating them as a puppet. Toward this end, we see the hand of Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Israel, certainly, oil companies. It's in particular, this is the timing. This is really the last 5 minutes for the insurgency. This was a desperate act, a blatant act, and anything that brought on the kind of camaraderie that we've seen of late between Russia and China, this helped cement that relationship, and I don't think that's something that the West really wanted to see.
Well, when you say the significance of the timing, why do you think that this then was held at this time? I mean, there could be lots of reasons. We could talk about the upcoming presidential election that's coming up in Syria.
Well, the election in Syria, but when you look at Syria and separate it from the Ukraine, when you separate it even from Boko Haram or the attacks in Kenya, as a security analyst, we're looking at all of these things and the causes and funding behind all of these programs here. All these terrorist programs are all pretty much tracing down to the same movement, there's the same mosaic that's coming together here. And Syria does not stand alone. Syria is, if anything, Syria's ability to stand against, and this is for years, against the kind of pressure it's been under internationally by this cabal of terrorists supporting colonial powers and Western puppets. Syria has destroyed their plans, and they're also becoming unraveled in Ukraine as well. And this is the same conflict, or that's how I see it. Syria and Ukraine can't be separated at all.
And quickly, it's the third question. In 30 seconds, Gordon Duff, do you think the UN needs an overhaul when we take a look at how this is pretty much a battle now, not just about Syria when it comes to the veto that comes from Russia and China against the rest of the, obviously, council members, in particular the U.S., based on external factors?
Well, when they tried doing votes through the General Assembly, and those are for public relations only, the U.S. can at least get between 50 and 80 votes just out of blackmail from minor members. There is no credibility either for the ICC, an organization that has made itself irrelevant, and the UN. China and Russia are going to stand in the way and keep the UN from becoming what it could be, and it very much could be a rubber stamp for aggression in Syria. That was the purpose of this resolution.
Thank you very much for that. Gordon Duff, Senior Editor of Veterans Today, talking to us there from Ohio.